I think the world is going through quite a different transformation. The center of power, at least economic power, is no longer in the Atlantic. It's in the Far East. It's moving. It's moving. So we are heading towards a different world, which we are not accustomed to. So how this will develop, we can speculate, we can make futuristic studies, extrapolate, etc., etc. But how it will shape, and where would Turkey fit in that? Turkey now is among the G20, member of G20. And that is a sign for certain growth. And then if you look to other aspects, now I would speak as a Secretary General of OIC. The Muslim world is closely following Turkey's relationship, accession process with Europe. Because the Muslim world gives big importance to this. I think the Muslim world, on two levels, official level, governments, and public opinion level, places a great importance on Turkey's relationship. You remember when the negotiations concluded 4 years or 5 years ago, and I think it was in Brussels. And then Turkey was, the negotiation for membership started. On that date, the people, the media people who were following this crucial process from the Muslim world were overweighing the number of those from Europe. And this is unprecedented. Everybody was looking, would the negotiations start, would they open the file or would they close the file? The number of the media people there from the different countries was enormous, and everybody was astonished for that. That is one indication of how public opinion, and if you read the Arabic newspapers and follow the channels, or in Urdu or in Bahasa, you will find that whole Muslim world eyes on that, how this will develop. Why? Because the Muslim world wants to have a smooth relation with the West and with Europe. The relationship with between the Muslim world and Europe has a long history. And part of this history is full of sadness and calamities of colonialism, imperialism, etc., etc. So they look forward that here a country amongst us would be a part and parcel of Europe. It will be our voice in Europe, and then it will be an open channel between the Muslim world and Europe, that we have a better relationship, smooth relationship. Of course, if you look from Europe, of course there are immense benefits that Europe would gain from this, but that if you are thinking strategically. Here, that Europe has a country which is partly Middle Eastern country, Muslim country, has access to this area, and has a direct relation, and it understands this world very good because it belongs to this world, and it can help us in our relationship. This is one reason. If you look from the other side, if you look from Brussels or from Paris or from Berlin. But if you look from Berlin and Paris, because of your domestic politics, and that you need to gain the far-right votes for your election campaign, well, then everybody is in trouble. Everybody is in trouble. And that also relates to many other issues which we in OIC facing, the phenomena of Islamophobia. The phenomena of Islamophobia, as I was discussing this with my American counterparts, officially or academically, I think there is a big difference between Americans and Europeans' position vis-à-vis Islamic issue sensitivities. Americans don't have this position against Islam in their DNAs. Americans are a nation of settlers who came from different places, who suffered from persecution for religious reasons, for national, racial reasons, ethnic reasons, whatever. And they came here, they established themselves, and they enjoy this kind of freedom, which is a main tenet of the system here and the constitution. And they welcome newcomers because they were the old comers. So here the situation, and you don't have these long crusade wars, though in a very short period the word crusade was used by some leaders in this country, but we're glad that this is over. And we think that the relationship between the United States, the people of the United States of America and the Muslim world is different than the relation between, it has no precipitations from the history. It has no this bad background from history. This is why I do believe that a cooperation between America and the Muslim world and OIC as the spokesman for the Muslim world can develop in a very healthy way and fruitful way. Let me end with few words on, though it is not related to Turkey and Europe, but I think I wouldn't be saying anything new on my part, but maybe it would be, I needed to reiterate it here in relation to America's relation with the Muslim world, and particularly with the new opening that started with President Obama's speeches, which culminated in his historical speech in Cairo. I think this new opening and approaches announced by him, expressing his willingness to improve U.S. relations with the Muslim world and putting an end to the period of clashes and misunderstandings, we feel optimistic to see that the language used by the United States is very close, if not identical, to our language, about how we see the world and about how we conceive the possible solution to contemporary challenges facing humanity. I would like to draw to your attention to the fact that on the 20th January, last January, I have published an open letter in New York Times and International Herald Tribune, 20th of January, the day of the inauguration of the center. And you can find the text of this letter on our website, OIC website. That almost half-page letter was addressed to the President, saying towards a new partnership between the Muslim world and the United States. I have put there our own ideas about how we see the relationship. I wouldn't go to the details of that. Maybe you can, if you are interested, see the text. But let me say one thing, that I have there said we need a new partnership. And this partnership should be based on two values, mutual respect and mutual understanding. If we really can build the relationship between America and the Muslim world on these two values, that will be dramatically a wonderful transformation. We will reach really what we all aspire to reach. Thank you.